Well, good evening. I hope you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay in the back? Okay. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for attending this evening. We're here to talk about the Clean Water Program, provide you information, give you an opportunity to talk to our team members and ask questions, and provide us feedback. We'd like to get feedback on how you would like to be contacted with information and what kind of information you would like to hear about the program. I'm here with several team members. This is Derek DeKeegan, Senior Engineer and Deputy Program Manager. This is Doug Burschauer with CH2M. He's one of our wastewater treatment plant technical experts. Jimmy Vo, a project manager and engineer with the city, and Jonathan Strange, who is management analyst and handling a lot of different aspects for us, including all the meeting preparations and coordination and outreach. So the team will be available after a short presentation to help answer any questions. And I'm Kathy Zamet. I'm an engineering manager with the city, and I'm the program manager for the Clean Water Program. So a little bit about our wastewater system. Our system includes all the piping and pump stations in the city of San Mateo, which collect all the sewage from our homes and take it to the treatment plant. Our treatment plant, located in the yellow box on the screen, treats all of the wastewater in San Mateo, and it also treats wastewater from the southern portion of Hillsborough, the Crystal Springs County Sanitation District, and all of Foster City. Foster City is a partner in the treatment plant with San Mateo, and the other partners also contribute and pay for services in our system. Our system includes about 235 miles of pipe and 26 pump stations. And the majority of this system was actually constructed between the 1900s and 1960s, so it is reaching the end of its useful life. So why do we need this program? The reason is we have a wet weather capacity problem in our system which causes sanitary sewer overflows. And so if you've ever experienced what you're seeing on the screen, this is basically raw sewage that is diluted with stormwater that enters our system, and it overloads the system, and it causes the sewage to escape from the system and flow into the streets, get into our waterways, and eventually into the San Francisco Bay. So this is clearly a pollution and environmental issue and a potential health issue. And we can experience up to about 8 to 10 times the amount of flow during a wet weather event that we do during the normal dry flow that we generate on a daily basis. The other reason we're doing this is that we have aging infrastructure at the wastewater treatment plant as well. Many of these facilities are anywhere from 40 to 75 years old. There have been improvements to the treatment plant over the years. The most recent was completed in 2008, and there's still a lot of portions of this plant that are falling apart. If you have ever had the opportunity, and we welcome you to come take a tour of our treatment plant, you'll see that there's a lot of aging infrastructure, and it's important that we have reliable, dependable, and sufficient capacity in our system, because if we don't and we have an operational failure, that can cause violations, it can cause raw sewage to be released, and again, these are all regulatory requirements that we need to meet at the treatment plant. And that's another driver for this, is the regulatory requirements. The system is regulated by the Regional Water Quality Control Board, which is an extension related agency to EPA, and they set forth regulations for the operation and maintenance and management of the collection system and the treatment plant. And so when we have SSOs, or incorrect discharges from the treatment plant of partially treated sewage, those are regulatory violations. And most recently, we received a cease and desist order in 2009, which included fines and included mandates for us to make improvements to our system to provide enough capacity and reliability to ensure that SSOs don't occur. It's also part of our permit for operation at the treatment plant. The most recent one, issued in 2013, also requires that we make changes to our liquid process stream at the treatment plant to ensure that all sewage is getting properly treated. Right now, there's what we call bypassing or blending, where if we have too much flow coming into the treatment plant, we're taking some sewage that's partially treated, some of that liquid stream, and it gets mixed with fully treated, but it's still not meeting what the future regulatory requirements are going to be, because we're being told that we're needing to eliminate this practice. So these are some of the regulatory requirements that are currently driving the program. We're also looking at what the upcoming and future regulatory requirements are. It's important that if we're going to spend this much money on upgrading our treatment system, that we try and get the most for that and be prepared to meet future regulations, not just doing the bare minimum for what we're being told we need to do right now. It's going to take 10 years to build all of these facilities, and we want them to be able to meet the regulations that we're anticipating over that time frame. So with the need to construct these improvements, there are also several opportunities for us to support and align with and progress the city's sustainability goals. So this does provide us an option or opportunity for pursuing recycled water. What we're planning to build is going to produce a effluent, which is the product coming out of the end of the treatment plant. Currently, it goes into the bay. We're going to have a plant that will give us the option of using that water for recycled water, because it will be treated to that standard. So we're also looking at using the Envision system, which is similar to LEED. We have LEED requirements for buildings at the city. We are also looking at Envision as a way to measure how well what we build meets sustainability goals. And we're also looking at using green construction materials and and biosolids. We're also doing a biosolids master plan, which will look at how we can use some of the solids coming out of the treatment plant and the gases, and look at ways for recovering energy from those. So these are the drivers of the Clean Water Program. Again, the flow capacity is the biggest issue, the aging infrastructure, and the regulatory requirements, and then trying to meet our sustainability goals wherever possible. So what's involved in this program? What are the projects? Well, the projects were originally identified in the draft integrated wastewater master plan that was conducted and completed in 2014 and presented to City Council. And that recommends improvements at the wastewater treatment plant. And that was combined and integrated with the plans we already had for some of the improvements in the collection system. So it's a mandate of the permits. It's something we were already working on, and it gives us a complete roadmap of what the improvements are needed for the whole system. It was originally a 20-year plan, and these are some of the projects that are proposed. In the collection system, we're looking at relief lines, which are additional lines to provide extra capacity during wet weather events, and rehabilitation, which may also include upsizing several existing sewer pipes. It will also look at rehabilitation to fix the joints and the leaks and the other ways that roots and break apart the pipes and allow water to get in, and that's what causes this capacity overflow. We're also looking at our pump stations. We want to make sure that they have the right capacity for these extra wet weather flows, and that they're reliable, that they're to a condition of good repair, and that they have backup power and backup mechanical systems so that they don't fail. We're also looking at in-system storage, which is a way to better manage the flow in the system. It's an operational improvement. It gives us the ability to hold wastewater for short periods of time in order to allow the system to clear and have more capacity and then release the rest of that water in. And you can kind of think of it as ramp metering for sewage. So these are what some of the projects look like. We have relief lines. This is a picture from the Los Prados relief line that was installed in 2010. And then the Flint pump station. This is an example of what construction at a pump station may look like if we're rehabilitating or expanding. And this is what a storage basin looks like. There are 3 photographs here that are from a basin that has been recently constructed and is in active operation in Seattle, Washington area. It's completely below grade. There's just some access hatches that are for maintenance. All the odor control, all the mechanical is all below grade. The only other thing above grade is one small electrical cabinet. This facility is located in a residential area. It's next to like a preschool. It's across the street from a park, and there is planned additional development of housing on the lot immediately adjacent to it. Our council members, 3 of our council members, recently went and visited this facility and were able to see what it was like immediately after being filled with sewage and then cleaned, and see the benefits of how this can work and help us improve the operations and reduce these SSOs in our system. So the treatment plant, the proposed improvements there include a new headworks and primary clarifiers. The headworks will involve grit screening and removal, which will take a lot of the harsh rock-like solids that come through in the sewage and take those out before they make their way through the rest of the process. Right now, we don't have that at our plant, and so a lot of abrasive materials get through the system, and they cause a lot of wear and tear, a lot of maintenance problems, and they reduce the life of the equipment. So this will greatly improve our plant. We're also looking at complete change out and reconstruction of all the secondary process improvements. And this is to address that wet weather capacity issue that we currently have. And we'll we're proposing a membrane bioreactor technology that will, again, clean the water to a much higher standard so that it can be used for recycled water. We're also looking at some flow equalization on site at the wastewater treatment plant that will be used for the same process. And I'll be happy to answer questions after. Want to try and get through it, and I'll be glad to answer questions, and then we'll be able to also talk to several of the team members. We're also looking at needing space for some of the courtyard facilities. The city's courtyard is currently located on Pacific Boulevard, and we're looking to, at some point, relocate some of those services, most likely the sanitary sewer maintenance, over to the treatment plant site as well. And again, looking for opportunities for future recycled water. So this is the program that was established in order to deliver all these projects, because it's not cost effective to deliver them one at a time, and it also doesn't meet the timing requirements or any of the goals of the program. So in 2014, we hired a consultant, that's CH2M. They are our program advisor, so they are experts in wastewater treatment and in program management throughout the world. And they are co-located with city staff, and we work together as a team to deliver the program. We looked at the goals of the program and reestablished those, and are looking for ways to more effectively deliver this. So one of the first things they did was look at the technology alternatives. And again, we're looking at a membrane bioreactor technology, which will be the least costly of the alternatives we looked at. It will provide us a better quality of effluent, which gives us the opportunity to use recycled water, whereas some of the other alternatives require even more construction to get to the same quality. So it is what we consider the best value alternative. And we're also looking at reducing the time frame from 20 years to nominally 10 years. That will help save cost in escalation of construction cost, and it will also give us the benefit of these facilities much sooner. So, as I'm sure cost is the number one thing on your mind, the program is estimated to cost $900 million. And that's a lot of money, but these are very necessary improvements. We are looking at ways to reduce cost. One of the things we're doing is applying for state revolving fund loans. There are different ways to finance these capital projects, and the state revolving fund loans are a low interest loan. They're usually cheaper than some of the bonds we issue, and on this program it can save us a lot of money. Again, because this is a large capital investment, it will require sewer fees to pay the debt service on those loans, and so that will require some rate increases. The city has been fiscally responsible in the sense of doing rate increases on a gradual basis. So over the last several years, the rate increases have averaged approximately 8 or 9%. Some cities in our area, this is a regional issue, and all the cities in the Bay are facing these same types of problems, and they all have similar aging infrastructure. Some cities are experiencing huge rate increases of like 50% or more. We are proposing to try and finance this in a way that will allow for the continued gradual rate increases so that we're not having huge spikes in those increases. We do need to raise rates slightly more in the next few years than we have in the past. We're looking at between 10 and 15% this current year. We will be going to council on the 4th of April to propose releasing the notice of proposed rate increases, and we're looking at a 12% rate increase. We'll also be looking at how we can spread those rate increases over time, and also the financing is spread out over time so that it's not just the people here right now who are paying for all these improvements. These will continue to have the costs spread out so that people in the future will be paying for the improvements that they will also be benefiting from. And again, we have partners that share in the cost. They pay for their impact on the system and their cost for the treatment of their wastewater as well. This is the basic schedule for the program. In these early years, in 2016-17, we've already started design on some of these projects. We are continuing to move forward with the design. We have a few different contracts that will be awarded at council next month, so we can get moving on that. We're also in the midst of the program environmental impact report process. There's more information about that in the back of the room. The draft was issued toward the end of last year. We had 3 public hearings on it. The final version, final draft, will come out in late April. Please look for a notice in April advertising that availability of that document, and then we will be bringing that forth to the Public Works Commission and to the City Council for the adoption of that document, which will allow and this is at the program level, so it will allow the program to continue forward and that we can start construction. So we're looking to start construction in the collection system in 2017, and this is for the larger projects because if you're not aware, we have annual programs for rehabilitation that are ongoing. So every year we're doing different rehabilitations, but they're usually on a smaller scale, like spot repairs. These construction activities will be the larger projects that were proposed as I showed on the previous map. we're looking to start construction of the treatment plant in 2018, with the majority of those facilities being commissioned in 2022, at which point a recycled water source would be available, and looking to complete all of the work in the Clean Water Program by 2026. So our next steps, as I said, design, state revolving fund loan application, the CEQA process, obtaining the environmental permits that we need to do this work. We're also in process of our energy recovery and biosolids master plan. This will provide us a vision of where we want to go in the future. The Clean Water Program is focused on wet weather capacity assurance and primarily the liquid process portion of the treatment plant. And we have some information about the basics of wastewater for folks who are not familiar with how the wastewater treatment plant works, because a lot of people don't really know about that or don't really care. Yeah, most of the time, that's the whole point. We want to keep sewage out of sight and out of mind. We want it to stay in the pipes. We want to get it properly treated, and so that people don't have to worry about it. But if you're interested in knowing more, we do have people around the room that can talk to you about that, and we have some handouts that are available as well. We're also we've started and we will be continuing to pursue our recycled water partnerships with Cal Water or other potential purveyors in the area. So we're looking for someone who will take our product out of our treatment plant and then distribute it for recycled water use. So again, just to restate, we need this for wet weather capacity so that we don't have sewage flowing in the streets. We need to be able to treat the sewage properly. We need to meet all of our regulatory requirements. We want to be in the best possible position to meet all the future regulatory requirements that we're currently anticipating. And we want to continue to support sustainability goals and try to incorporate that in the program wherever possible. So we have quite a bit of information available. We have Wastewater the Basics, as I mentioned. We have team members that you are welcome to come and talk to. We also have comment cards available in the back at the public outreach table. If you would like to leave us a question, a comment, contact information, feel free to use the comment cards. We also have email notifications that you can sign up for. If you're interested in getting notice by email, please talk to Jonathan in the back of the room after the discussion, and he can help you sign up for those. We also have a website that we have a lot of information posted there. We try to put updates there. This presentation will be included there. We're also open to coming around and providing this presentation to homeowners associations or to just come and talk to your associations to answer questions. We also have an email address for the program and a phone number, so if that's your preferred method of communication, you can use that as well. And we are also open to any suggestions you have on other ways to be contacted. I know Jonathan is also starting to get us out on some of the social media and in coordination with our city website. So again, I just want to thank you for your attendance this evening, and we are open to answer questions. I can answer a couple questions now if you'd like, but I do want to give everybody the opportunity to walk around and look at the material.